Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. How you all today? We're going to be talking about basic tools and what you'll need to get into cosplay. I know the wonderful world. Hello, welcome everybody. You got Daniel, you got Kevin. How are the horns going? Morning. Hey Becky, she's back from her trip. How do you go? How'd it go, Beck? Oh, I'm sorry. Going ape costume. Going ape costume was at Los. You know, I've not. An ape we trust. What's up, Kevin? We're going to. Yeah, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just waking up. I got a. There's a series of videos I want to do about covering basic tools, and I realized some of the tools I just. I have my rotary tool, which is an expensive one. I want to get a least expensive one for the video. Um, Anime, Idaho, a family camping. I'm filthy with both. What was it? Enemy, Idaho, and family camping. Thanks for humoring me. Hold on. Thanks for humoring me with that Facebook call. I really made her day. Oh my, no, Becky. Again, it's a thing like that was that that's what's so great about like if people like if you're in a situation like that and we're as close as we are as friends, yeah, definitely call me anytime. It's like I to me I don't. I'm just a guy, and I know to other people it means a lot to talk to me or something like that, and I have no problem chatting with people. Oh. What Becky's referring to, everybody, is that there's a young woman that was in the costume contest, and she won for best costume. And Becky had her Evil Ted T-shirt on, and she's like, "I'm a huge fan of that." I like, and Becky's like, "I know him. Like, I don't just wear the shirt; I actually know him." And then, so she called me so I could say hello, and it was great. She seemed really quite tickled that I was on the phone talking to her because I take it she watched my videos and she learned how to craft a costume and she got into it and she got into the costume contest. She won a prize, and so it's so nice when people. I kicked myself in the butt because I was in Florida for MegaCon, and this woman came up to me. Hey, Krim. Oops, sorry, take this out.
Hello, you awesome people.
Hello, Krim. Everybody, really quickly just subscribed. Really quickly, everybody. What you guys need to do, if you guys are watching this on Twitch, I stream simulcast on YouTube and Twitch. My chat is open on YouTube. So if you want to say hello and chat with me, you got to hop over to the Evil Ted channel on YouTube. But it's really nice that they set up to where I can do Twitch and YouTube at the same time, which is fantastic. I'm still trying to. I want to learn how to play the game. I got it rigged up, set up a Twitch thing on my PC downstairs. I just got to figure out the days when I want to do it to like play live and chat with people. But yeah, we're just going to cover basic tools today. I figured because oh, people are wanting to get into cosplay, and I think they start searching, and they see all these people doing 3D printing and molding and casting and laser cutters, and it's like it's overwhelming and it's a lot. So I figured I want to go back to the basics and show people that when I started, none of that stuff existed. And I eventually do want to get a laser cutter, but I have to learn how to do Inkscape. I keep saying it, but I just haven't got. I always trying to find the time to learn something is a pain in the butt. I'm also making a red dragon out of plastic skeleton dragon. Oh, from Joanne's. Oh, okay. Hey, Hellfire Zombie. YouTube is nice for this. Twitch is too twitchy for me, dude. Right? It's don't get me wrong. They were the pioneers of live streaming thing when it started. But what happened was it exploded with these creative people and was doing it after a while. Like, they didn't really care. They didn't really have much faith in creative, so they got rid of it. And this turns out because it all tied in when Amazon took over. Once Amazon bought Twitch, they bought Twitch and they just derailed it. So it's like it's a mess now. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall. So I changed because there was a while there. If you guys don't know this, that Twitch would punish you if you did a simulcast. Then it would cancel your account. And I think Kamui Cosplay, she was doing a simulcast. And I'm like, well, you're out. And Kamui's like, all right, I don't need it. Bye. See ya. And they lost her. Turns out a lot of people did that. They're like, fine, we'll leave. So they all left and came to YouTube. And they, oh, stop. So they worked out a deal to where you can stay and simulcast. Like, yeah, dude. So anyway, that didn't work out. So then turns out you can. I wanted to, but I found out I was going to lose my partnership with Twitch. And I wanted to lose it. So now they finally approved it. So they let you can do both at the same time. I know, Becky, it's ridiculous. They don't care. Speaking of, yeah, here's the thing with me and Amazon. I try to buy as much as I can locally. I just like, but unfortunately, almost the stores that carry things locally from me they stop carrying it because people start shopping on Amazon. Like, I still like going to the store and getting stuff. I don't want to have to order and wait a couple of days. It's like, I don't know. I have a serious love-hate relationship with Amazon, so. What can you do? Real quickly, guys, if you know, you guys have been following me in my post when I'm working on some space armor for my friend's film. I'm going to grab you a couple pieces. I'll show you what I've been up to. This is the I'm trying to make it to where it's a one size fits all kind of thing. So we have the chest piece that sits here in the front, and then we have a neck ring, and these are the shoulders here. Got the shoulders going, and the neck ring is this guy right here. It kind of drops up on the shoulder, like, oops, kind of like that, and then there'll be these straps that hook from the front. I'm gonna have the straps with Velcro so they can adjust it just for the size. Yeah, and I gotta make 3 men and 3 women, which is basically a total set of 6. And as for my friend's film called the Stars Fire Squadron, I'm so bad with names, sorry. Going it says my UPS man, his name's Jeff, and I have his phone number. That's right, because he knows you, because you bring stuff. UPS name is Jeff. Jeff Bezos. Sometimes I'm going to the store. You discover things you never knew, right? You know, Hellfire Zombie. You know what I really miss? I know I'm gonna get people don't understand this, but I miss video stores. You know, I miss going to the video store and seeing what's out. I'm renting DVDs. I know that's gone. It's never going to come back. I know there's some people doing stuff like this for nostalgia reasons, like how many stores you can go to. So I've seen some guy make his basement, like he did it for fun. It's not a public thing. Just made his basement look like a video store. There was a thing about just walking around and seeing things you've never seen before. So when the the Hollywood Video in my neighborhood literally went down so fast that I went in to go buy they were having a clearance sale, just clearing out their stock. And I went in there one time. And I was like, "Oh, I bought some." And the girl behind the counter, she goes, "Look, come back tomorrow. We're gonna slash the prices. They're gonna be even half than what they're now. They were like $5. I think they dropped everything down to $5." But I went in and bought just a ton of movies I always wanted. Like, so most of my DVD collection I had before, but got really huge because I went in there and just started grabbing stuff. I got a copy of Planet of the Vampires, which is one of my favorites. Oh. But I miss it. You can take streaming and stuff. To be honest with you, it's destroyed the industry. It's a mess. Um, I'm supposed to be talking about tools. Glue. Mansplaining. I did go to the local hardware and bought some Wellwood, and dude asked me if I knew what I was gluing. I said, "Yeah, I'm gluing foam, dude. I know what I'm gluing. Don't explain this shit to me." When I go to when I used to go to hardware stores looking for particular pieces, and the guy goes, "Well, what's your home project?" I'm like, "No, dude, trust me. I'm not what I'm buying. I'm not using it for what it's intended for. So trust me. You can't help me." Besides, those days are gone. When I was younger, there was guys that worked at the stores that actually knew everything about the stores. That old men that worked in construction, and when they did it with Home Depot, it came in. This big CEO guy goes, "Let's just hire a bunch of kids, and just just have them so they can work for half the money, and just get rid of these old guys that know stuff." They did. So, and Home Depot plummeted for a while, and it kind of came back up, but they're not the same. Like Lowe's, you go to Lowe's, the people actually know stuff. So, yeah, you're so funny. I learned about movies and the love of movies from my local video store. It was called God, what was it called? It had a particular name, like something's video, Bob Video, something like that. But it was a mom and pop, and this guy would buy really fun, obscure movies and stuff. He would know about movies and read about movies. So I'd come in, and oh, hey Ted, like I would come into the store, and hey, have you seen this? I'm like, what? And he'd tell me about it, and I'd go home, rent it, come back, oh my god, and I would talk about it, and he'd go, hey man, like I got this movie coming, like so he'd just get these great, really obscure movies, and I learned so much about movies, and I finally realized, again, I was in my 20s in St. Louis, that movies I found out were getting released. I lived in St. Louis. St. Louis doesn't get anything except for major motion picture, big films. But Chicago, New York, and LA would get theatrical release movies. Everything would go to big screens. As a kid, I'd look at movies and I wouldn't see them until they came out on VHS. I'm like, oh, how come I'm always missing these movies in the theater? That's because they never came to the theater in St. Louis. So it was a point where that was my only outlet for entertainment with the video stores. My favorite thing to do is go to a makerspace and dig through the junk racks where people drop off things they might be handy for others. The best idea to come up. That is a great idea. So funny. I'm sure I don't know. I might. Here's the thing with makerspaces for me right now is that you have to join. It costs money, and I just can't. I haven't got a disposable income to put into anything like a makerspace. I'd like to go and check one out sometime, but if anything involves money and just monthly payments. Ritzy Dead Poet Society is how I ended up in some of my kids' labs in high school. Well, I tried plastic dip and it would spatter. Okay, really quickly, Adam. What the thing with plastic dip is you've got to warm it up first. Plastic dip is great, and to get it to come out like spray paint, you got to put the can in hot tap water for at least 10 minutes. And what I mean is, get a bucket or something, fill it with now don't not boiling water, but hot tap water. Get it pretty hot, and then take a can, put in there, put up like a brick or a rock or something heavy on it, so it stays submerged in hot water for at least 10 minutes. Get that can nice and hot because that plastic dip it just will congeal and stuff with room temperature and humidity. So warm it up first, at least for 10 minutes, and then shake the crap out of it and spray. And then once you're done, it starts to cool off. Put it back in the water again. Keep it warm. It comes up a lot better. Hey, the modifier. Good morning. How you doing? What, you starting off without me? I didn't. You ready for this modifier? You haven't missed anything because we haven't started. I'm just chatting. I always mean to do stuff like, oh, I'm gonna do this and do that, and I get on chat and I just hang out with you guys. But I know I am a channel and it is an educational channel. I should tell you people some things. But I like to hang out for a little bit and catch up with people and chat because my friends are all here. Oh. Who are all over the globe, all over the planet. Four out of 5 cans were terrible. Dude, I'm telling you, Adam, warm them up. You'll be surprised. Really. Warm. My camera keeps going out of focus, or is it my eyeballs? Hold on. Clean my glasses. Ah, there you go. Yeah, it was my glasses. They were dirty. All right, anyway. Yeah, but trust me, the warming is a game changer. It will change everything. But anyway, let's move some stuff here real quick. Let's check my camera overhead. Make sure it's set up good. I guess I'm going to do some rearranging here real quick. Okay, use 2 of these things. Hey, Kevin, get those kittens some treats. How you doing, Kevin? Thank you so much. Everybody, really quickly, that super chat, you give me a tip of $5. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It's things like that that keep this little channel going. I have a big shout out to Going Ape Costume to educate me about that because I did not know that. All right. Let me get some foam. Let me cut a couple pieces of foam real quick. Microphone in my face. Check. Hey, hello from Scotland. That's Fieldwalker Mask. Hello, Fieldwalker Mask. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're just hanging out, doing basic tools today. I am frantically editing. I downloaded my footage today, and I start editing the Colonial Marine helmet. Took all the footage. I'm going through it and editing right now in between making spacesuits and 20 other things. I just found your stream. I love the vibe here. Nice and chilled. Absolutely loving crafting and modeling. So it'd be cool to learn more. Oh, thank you. That's Jemison Bishop. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, just we're gonna be low key today. We're going to covering. Hey, there's again. There's the donation for $5. It popped up. It's right there. Thank you. And also subscribed. Even better. And again, everybody, if you guys are watching this on Twitch, I'm streaming live on YouTube as well, but the chat is open on YouTube. So if you do want to come over and say hello or say hi, pop over here on YouTube. The bots haven't found us yet. All right. Okay. You know, let me replace this blade. Yeah, let's do this here. Hold on, guys. All right. Man, I don't think that maybe that light's too much there. I'm blowing everything out here. Yeah, it doesn't even. Start recording. We have the cutting tools. Now, of course, we have the very standard craft knife, and we have the utility knife, aka the box cutter. I love these guys because it's got a nice long blade, and you can adjust this for the thickness of the foam. What I like about both these blades, hold on. Let me think about this. Take two on that. All right, now we're getting on to our craft knives. Now, both these are readily available at any store. This is the smaller craft knife for cutting small pieces. This is my favorite one, is the utility knife, aka box cutter. Has an adjustable blade, and you can also change the blades just by swapping things out. And even better, is that cuts beautifully, just like that. And you can take the blade, get some texture on one side, but if you tilt it like so, get those nice bevel cuts. Now, what makes the smaller craft knife better is that the blade is a little bit shorter and thinner, and you can do curves. This guy is nice, but the blade's so wide, you're kind of limited on the curves you can make. But with this guy, you can get really creative, and if you have a little complex designs and whatnot, you can just kind of come in and do S's, curves, just like that. Oops, here. The other great thing is having one of these. This is a cutting mat. What makes the cutting mat so wonderful is that it does two things. It will save your table, and also doesn't dull the blade so quickly because it's soft, and it heals it, and it doesn't damage the blade, so you can keep it stay sharp a lot longer. And when you're cutting, I always try to make sure when you're cutting, make sure you're feeling the mat, so you cut all the way through. So let's try this again. There we go. Much better. Now, what's even better is that when these guys get dull, I like to replace them. Some people want to sharpen them, but I don't mind. These blades go a long ways, and they have plenty of replacement blades. And they're relatively inexpensive. But for these guys, the blades do get dull. And what I like to do is I have my old Kashot sharpener right here. And it's a little aluminum blade with some little bit rough surface. You go like this. And then the other side. Now when sharpening, you tilt ever so slightly. Because you don't want to go too much. If you tilt too high, it's just going to dull the blade. The less you tilt, the better. So you just go very lightly, very slightly, just toward, and then flip around and go away. And by doing this, makes the blade brand new again. Yeah, nice. And of course, let's do some more bevel cutting. Let's do a curved bevel. See? Look at that. Nice. Do it again this side. Again, I'm concentrating on making sure that blade touches the table. Isn't that nice? So these, the great things I have is the cutting. Your utility. Oh, this is I got this particular brand here. This is my X-Acto knife. Oh, I'm sorry. Crap blade, but it's got the frisker handle. What makes the frisker handle? It's rubberized, and you can hold it like a pencil, and I just find it's a lot easier to hold on to. It's it's not necessary, but just for all the cutting I do, I really like this one. Keeps my hand from cramping as much. So you just kind of like that. So now, other great tools you'd like to have is move up a little bit taller for you guys. Is the metal straight edge with cork backing. The reason was you can see this guy's, I've seen some action, had this for years, but I like the cork backing ones because they grab better and it keeps them from sliding. So when you're pushing down on foam or a hard surface, it actually grabs. My other favorite one is the clear ruler that has a metal edge embedded, so we can cut with an X-Acto knife with a metal edge on this as well too. And what I like about it too, it has the when you hold, you can see the different thicknesses, so you can control, like if you want to do like a 1/4 inch, you can see the lines. So therefore, if you don't draw the lines, you can just see on here. You can line it up to exactly where you want it, just like that, and it makes it for cutting things a lot faster. But you line it up like this. See, and it is perfect. And what's cool too is that you got metal parts, get your pieces, and you can control your thicknesses. Love it. Now, the other tool I really like doing is, people always ask me too. Now this is a heat gun. Now this one, I used to have a heat shroud on it, and you can see it got pretty hot enough over the time that the heat shroud fell off. Which I don't know why. Look at that. No, it's a cheap heat gun, and so it melted the plastic on it. But a heat gun is a great thing to have. People always like, oh, get yourself a hair dryer. Hair dryers won't get as hot as a heat gun, and you need a heat gun for shaping foam. And there's two things I like: when you can heat shape it, and also you can add detail. So before we use this, you want to have put it on a hard surface, like a wood surface. When you're using your heat gun, that's why I have my own personal heat board. And the reason I made the heat board is because it will warp your table otherwise. Yeah, Kevin, I don't know. It's just like, I had it one day and it just fell off, and I looked at him like going, so the heat gun's melting the hot plastic. It's like, Yeah, you got me. It is cheap, guys. It is, don't say you get what you pay for. I had a really nice DeWalt one, a yellow one, and it got overcooked when I was in Germany. It was like a $57 heat gun, and it just died on me because I had the wrong voltage on it. All right, anyway, I digress. So, what makes the heat gun great is we take a piece of foam like this. You hold it, you curl it. There you go. See now, heat it, bend it, hold it, it curls. Now again, you can only do this with EVA foam. There's particular brands like L200 and stuff like that. That'll get hot and sticky, but it won't hold its shape. And this stuff will. So that's one of the benefits of using the EVA foam. Now this is just cheap Harbor Freight craft foam. If you're cosplaying and want to get into it, I highly recommend going to your Home Depot or Harbor Freight, because getting this stuff is really inexpensive. So in crafting, it's great to have. You're gonna fail a lot and screw things up. So it's good to have cheap foam, because you get a lot of bang for the buck with cheaper foam, and then by the building you learn without losing. It doesn't hurt your pocketbook as much when you're working with cheaper foam, and you can definitely work your way up to more expensive foam. So starting off, it's great to start off with Harbor Freight or Home Depot, just floor mat foam. Now, the other great trick with the heat gun is you can take this knife and score in some details like that. So see, got some cuts on it. Then get your heat gun. Right? Look at that. And you just put in some scribed in detail. Really easy to do. And this especially with the cheaper foam, it shrinks quite a bit. So the gaps and the seams look really pronounced. Looks really nice. Now, again, I love these things. These are 1, 2, 3 blocks. Now, a lot of people, the machinist people, use these a lot in the industry because you could square things up. I have 2 of these, and I got these a long time ago. They've gone up in price. You don't have to actually get machine blocks. You can get, there's fabric, sewer weights, and things when people make clothing or fabrics, have little weights you can buy to hold down your patterns. You can definitely do that as well. But I like these guys because they're bulky and they're square. So sometimes when I'm making sure something's coming together, I want something to be square, I could definitely do it like this and line it up and then glue it down and use this as a reference. When gluing things, I know it's directly a 90. But These things are great. They just have gotten expensive over time. When it comes to glue, focus. When it comes to gluing, I have my glue pot. I've had this thing for years. Again, this is not for everybody. The glue pot is something that I got used to in the industry because you apply glue generously to surfaces and let it dry. And with a glue bottle, it just takes a little bit longer. Especially if you're crafting at home, it's no big issue. But with the industry, with me and the speed of work, I always like to apply glue very quickly. So I got really used to the glue pot. So again, I love this thing. I did some shopping and found some like about $30 to $35. If you guys can go to my website, I have these linked there for the cheaper price ones. They are, it's just, I guess it's a matter of taste, but I'll show you why I like them so much. Turn some lights on here for a second. Let's do a bevel cut here. All right, so we're going to glue these guys together. Got my big brush. I just go. What I do is, I'm not only applying the glue, I'm applying it on the entire surface, just like that. And that's one of the reasons I love using the glue pot. Go ahead and let that dry for a little bit. Really quickly, does anybody have any questions? If just heads up, when the stream is over, I'm going to work on the third horn skull and the red dragon. Oh, we'll have fun. Sounds like exciting. I made a Doom Revenant with floor mats. Nothing wrong with them. I know, I love that foam, Becky. I use it all the time, especially on this project I'm doing right now, because it's just the expense. It's like, for me, it's like I like using the thinner, high quality foam for the detail work. But for just the bodies, I just use the I got the floor mat rolls. I wanted something a little bit thinner. I didn't want to go half inch on that. So I just ended up letting it use that stuff, base everything out. Yeah, as a matter of fact, this week I'm going to try to kick in high gear a little bit, get some more stuff done on these guys. Because the reason there's two spacesuits. There's two helmets I built already. I have built, and I need to make a chest, like a chest piece and a backpack for these new spacesuits. And I think the guy wants two of them for the film. And of course, everything I make, I keep for this movie. So I just don't have the patterns for it yet. So if I work out the patterns and make them available, I definitely want to add them to the shop for my, because I made a space helmet video a while back, and I want to make the rest of the costume so people can have their own spacesuits as well. Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, especially with the floor mat, it's definitely easy to patch holes and things on it. But yeah, really quickly, and if anybody has any questions, if you guys want to chat or ask about cosplay or techniques or whatnot, I'm here. So. All right, our glue is dry. Just line it up like so. I always do the edge first. And there it is. Ta-da! Edge is glued. Splickety split. I am using DAP Wellwood contact cement. I used to use Barge a lot in the beginning because it was an industry standard, but the thing was I didn't pay for it. People would go out and get it for me. And when I started buying my own supplies, I was like, holy crap, that stuff's expensive and it's hard to find. It's expensive and hard to find. And I finally realized what I'm doing with foam, DAP works just as well. Like, I think it was an industry standard because it's super strong. Barge is expensive because they use it for everything. But when you're doing cosplay and we're gluing foam together, that's pretty much all I use it for, is that I just use DAP. DAP's a lot cheaper. It's everywhere. You can get it at any hardware store. Do you get rods? Or do you get around to doing photos of your board costume? You know something? I had some on my hard drive, and so I pulled the board costume out because I just found it one day. Because I'm rearranging. I found it really quickly. Just sorry guys, I'll get back to the story. I'll answer your question. I promise. Is what happened was I was desperate for store. I need space to work, and I realized a lot of my costumes are in these plastic containers, and I went out and bought some nice large bags, like suit bags that cover your costume. You know, people that travel, they cover your suit. These big heavy-duty suit bags, sort of like they're made to cover a wardrobe, like wardrobe bags, basically. They go over a hanger, and they're big. And I started realizing I could hang costumes in there, so I started taking the costumes, dressing on the rack, and putting all the other accoutrements in a bag, hanging inside the bag. And so I was able to get rid of the containers. So I was able to get rid of 2 big containers, hang my costumes in a bag. I did the same thing with the Borg, and I was able to free up space in my shop, so I could have working space for these costumes. With that said, I found the Borg costume. I love it. There's some parts I want to revamp and touch up, but old man Ted put on some weight, and I can't get the Borg costume on. And the thing is, fact is, I'll never get that thin. I was like almost 9 years ago, but it's, I've dropped some weight. So my plan is to just lose a little bit more. I'm going to modify the midsection because everything else fits. It's the midsection piece. So it's a simple thing to modify. So I might just fix that up, modify it a little bit more so I can get back in it. Just take the lower piece and fix it to where I can get back in it, and then do a photo shoot with it. Because I want to do I love my Borg costume. I don't have any photographs of it. You're right. I don't have that, and I don't have my Battle Sister. And it's funny because you think, oh yeah, just to go out and take some photos, but you want them to be good and stuff like that. So I might, it's actually not a bad idea. I want to get the Borg done and do because the Borg is classic. It was one of the first things. It was Borg, and I think the Borg I did first, and I did did I do it? I think I did the Borg first, and I did Vampire Hunter D second. I think the Borg was the very first thing I did on Twitch. It was my first costume, and I did the Borg headpiece thing. That's upstairs too. I think that's all packed upstairs. Or is it down here? No, it's upstairs. How much gripping do you do? I'm sorry, Kevin, I don't understand. Oh, I got a photo shoot. Oh, with my mom. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I have friends that are really good photographers, but they live really far. I just have to schedule some friends. And the reason I say friends is because most of the time they just want money. People want to and what I should do is just do it myself. I got a nice camera. It's not rocket science, really. I got a really nice high definition camera. It takes really good stills. I should just go ahead and go out and shoot, go out and get the Battle Sister and do some nice high resolution photos digital photos of her. And they got friends who can do Photoshop and kind of put in a cool background or something. Yeah. But I want to try to find a decent location. But it's not a bad idea. It's just the girl that wore it, Sabrina, she's always busy. So I might have to get somebody else to wear it for me. So anyway. You know what I'm thinking about? The Battle Sister has the half mask thing, like the RoboCop I have. Let me show you guys real quickly. I love this mask. This is from I think it's Middle of Mind. I think it's Middle of Mind that made this, right? So, yeah, it goes like this. Yeah, the foam should be lower. Now I'm feeling it. That are alive or coming with me. But I could do a photo shoot with that, right? Yeah, I could, couldn't I? Just have her have the helmet on. Good enough for me. But yeah, this was Middle Mines. And every dip it has magnets, so you can drop the face shield in. Here, let's pull some glue out here. Hold on for a second. That's thank you. Yeah, I have a whole costume that goes with this. But yeah, it came out great. I have but I have a friend. Demi, I should hit her up, but then again, she's hard to get a hold too. Just trying to get people to show up for stuff is kind of pulling teeth these days. Kit bashing. Oh, kit bashing. Kit bashing is what I used to do in the old days when I would do model. When I was a model maker, we did a lot of kit bashing and props and costumes. Yeah, on low budget films, you can kit bash, especially on your own stuff. When you foam fabricate, you're kind of kit bashing your own thing. But you just kit bash with foam. I just kind of make different shapes and sizes and stick things on when I'm making a costume. But most of the time, I very rarely kit bash on foam costumes because on the Borg, I'll tell you what, that Borg costume, I kit bashed like crazy. It was just a foam suit with tons of little cast parts. I had a whole bunch of molds from like spaceships and model kits and things. Yeah, kit bash with foam. What I mean by is like making your own shapes and sizes and just sticking things everywhere. Or finding things that are like, once you seal it, you can glue things onto it. Like these pilot suits. I have a little part from another show from Star Trek Into Darkness. They made these goofy things you never saw, and I had the mold, so I cast them up. I'm going to make parts for that too as well. But yeah, you're right. I got to make I got to totally do this Battle Sister photo shoot. You're right. That's on my list. To take photographs and just get it done with. It's ridiculous. I don't know why I don't do that. Trying to think of some other just basic tools. The cutting mat, the craft knife, the metal straight edges. Here it is. This is a cast part from for example, Star Trek Into Darkness, the terrible Star Trek movie. There's a thing in a scene in the movie where Khan has a portable. The gag is he has an illegal portable transporter. So it's a device that he has with him with a handle on, and he grabs it, and it can teleport him. And it's portable, so you can bring it with him. So he doesn't have to be a transporter; he can port by himself. And there's a shot. We built this thing. We built the Hero one. We built when it was burned up, and we went through all the trouble to do this. It's on the screen for like a brief second. It's so ridiculous. It's this, like J.J. Abrams going to punch that guy in the face. Like, it's a scene where they're holding it. The guy runs up to it and he's holding it like, Captain. and he's holding it as he comes up to camera, and they're talking. It's all headshots talking, and he says all the dialogue, and they don't show the device he's holding. Like, then why build it? Like, it's just, it could have been a cardboard tube with some balls stuck on it. It was just the money you spend on this stuff, and you don't feature or show it, like, and they're all like, oh, it's got to be this, it's got to be that, it's got to be this, and they you know, anal about how perfect everything is. It's like, well, if it has to be so perfect, then shoot the damn thing. So it just happens all the time. You work in the industry and you build this stuff, and you never even doesn't even get shot. It's ridiculous. So anyway, okay, I digress. Anyway, that's what this is for. There's a part that goes to it. Dude, yeah, poor. You know, here's the thing so funny about that. Cumberbatch, is I feel sorry for that guy because he's a great actor. He's a solid actor. And what happened was they had Toro. He was going to play Khan, and he agreed to it, and they're in production. Then he just goes, I don't want to do it. And they're like, what? So he just turns into a complete baby about, which he's notorious for. And so he decides he doesn't want to do it now. And they're just like, wait a minute, what? So then he pulls out, and they're in production, and they're frantically trying to find somebody to replace him. They go, the show's in production. We can't stop. We got to keep going. So we got to find somebody. And so everybody's like they're reaching all these different actors, and they're all like, no, no, no. And they realize they can't put just anybody. They want somebody who has gravitas. They want somebody to be a solid actor and can pull it off. And Cumberbatch, who's up and coming, he was, you know, he had Sherlock Holmes, and he had some other shows, and people are like, this is before he was Doctor Strange, I think, or shortly after he was Doctor Strange. I can't remember. I don't think he was Doctor Strange yet. God, I can't remember now. But anyway, that's it. Oh, but Belo del Toro was, yeah, he would have been, but he just walked away from it. He's like, I don't want to do it. He's very unreliable, they would say. So anyway, they got the lens flares, right? Don't get me started. So anyway, he dropped out, and he came in, and he said, fine, I'll do it. And they threw all the money at him, and so he did it. And he wasn't bad. The movie was terrible. The movie was awful. It was a mess. And trying to like rewrite the con history, and it was just stupid. And this all JJ just saying yes to everything and just taking IPs and ruining them. But yeah. So again, I worked on that, and then I made this giant Gatling gun again. Put all this work into it, and you don't see it at all. It's just so ridiculous. It's like, anyway, I have no love for that guy. He hasn't done anything in a long time either. He doesn't do, like, he's not one of those guys that makes his own movies. He did like Super 8, which wasn't bad, and then now he just doesn't make movies, you know, unless it's a big IP or they throw money at him. But yeah, it was garbage. And that was the one I worked on. The one I worked on sucked. Like Terminator Genesis? I worked on that one. That sucked. God, it was awful. There's so many movies I worked on that are just awful. I mean, I was doing props. I was at a prop house, a bunch of people. I'm a huge fan of cosplay, but I need tips because I'm horrible and also can't. Horrible. Also, can you mention your channel? Can you mention my channel? I'm a huge fan of cosplay, but I need tips because I'm horrible. Also, can you mention my channel? I am trying to make a cool gauntlet. Which gauntlet? It's a robotic arm. Oh, there you go. Well, I mean, you're mentioning yourself. People can click on you and they'll see your YouTube channel. That's pretty much how you do it here on YouTube. It's not like Twitch. We have to put links and things in. You can actually just click on that. If they click on you, they'll see that's your channel. But yeah, it's what I recommend is starting. Just start making, and you'll learn as you go. Really, I can't preach that enough to people. Like they're like, well, everybody wants to come out and make everything perfect the first time. I say, it's not going to be perfect the first time. You got to struggle. You got to learn. That's what I did. I have stuff I built when I first started, and now I look at it, I'm like, ugh. Like you just get better over time. The more you build, the more practical you get. And what changed everything is the material. The tools and the talent's all there. It was the material, because back in the old days, you had to get like Sintra or plastic, and everything was expensive. And trying to make things and guns and props, and you always had to buy all this material and get tools to cut the wood and the plastic. And with foam, you don't need any of that stuff. You just need a craft knife, and a sharp blade, and a straight edge, and imagination, and you're set. It's the foam material itself made it doable. I've been doing this trying to do this mass research, like when EVA foam became really available. They made EVA foam for hockey. I think it was 80s or something like that. They made it for hockey material, hockey padding for helmets and things like that. It was a great foam for that stuff, and football armor and helmets. But the part is, like, I think it didn't. It's like, even though it was being used, and also it wasn't really available to the public. It wasn't until they started making floor mats. When they started making the floor mats available, that's when people started learning about the stuff and using stuff on the ground, the floor, and that's what people use. And there was no such thing as foam companies when people were making cosplay. There's the foam companies that made and used L200, but you couldn't buy foam that was smooth on both sides, bulk. And the first people to really do it was TNT Cosplay Supplies. They were the first ones to provide EVA foam, different thicknesses, and smooth on both sides. And they dominated. They took off. They launched. They were like, but again, what happened was they were a small company, and they started. And what happened was other companies were like, oh, and so everybody jumped on board. So there's a bunch of companies now, and unfortunately, due to pandemic, TNT kind of got in a hole and never got out of it. And also it was a bit of a rat race, and they were kind of tired of trying to keep up with it. So they were done. So they got rid of the company. They kind of passed over to my new guys, Cosplay Pros, who I am going through now. It does seem to be the way with young directors doing small films, then producing a chuck full of sci-fi IP, and then it's a vast budget, and then everyone else gets to. Yeah, what happens? It's like what's. All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna get on my soapbox here for a second. Let's since we're not really crafting anymore, and it's already 10 o'clock, let me just shift over and do some chatting, because we're all hanging out talking. Which I like doing. I love talking to you guys. Hold on, just move some light around here. All right. I tried making my design similar to the Open Bionics red and black prosthesis. I found rotary tools handy for textures. My last costume, I really overlooked how to keep the costume on and fitting. My favorite is going nuts with the texture. Yeah, texture. Once you start the texture, you got to keep going with it everywhere. I know Bill, and they did the Draugrs or something from was it some Bethesda game? I can't remember the name of it, but they built these crazy, and they had a round stone bit. They had to do the hammer metal technique over the whole thing. It looked great, but it was a lot. See how I'll be making a Cyborg Demon Slayer mashup. Nice. You are awesome. I watch your videos all the time. I recently got a spandex head cover from Amazon. Yep, that comes in. I love it. Oh, Skyrim. Thank you. That's what it was, Skyrim. People love that. I never played it, and I'm sure if I do, I would fall in love with it, because I love Fallout. And it's kind of the same thing. You explore and stuff, but I love the wasteland aspect of things, laser weapons and things like that. Hold on, I was gonna get some rant about something, and I forgot what the heck it was. I forgot. I was gonna rant about something. I had something I wanted to talk about. What was it? Shoot. Dang it. That's what happened. I got distracted. I was gonna say something. I had something I wanted to cover, and I can't remember what the heck it was. Dang it. Sorry, guys. I was on a tirade about something, and about making or something. Anyway. Oh, sci-fi and directors. That's it. When the day happened, when George Lucas finally sold his Star Wars franchise to Disney, everybody went, "Oh no, oh no!" Like, and it. They're so predictable, Disney themselves. They're Disney. They can't help themselves. They got money, and they. Here's the philosophy, guys. When you make something, and I found this a lot. When you try to please everybody, you please nobody. And that's been the Disney motto all the time, is we want to make it for everybody. There's no such thing as everybody, because what happens, you have niches. You have sci-fi. Oh, no, there's not just sci-fi. There's fantasy sci-fi, there's hardcore sci-fi, then there's kind of like children's sci-fi. There's so many fractions of one genre, like horror. There's like psychological horror, then there's splatter horror. There's so many different genres, and what happens when you try to make a movie to please everybody, you just make garbage and nobody wants to see it. And it's what Disney did with Star Wars. When they got Star Wars, they thought we're going to take this, we're going to fix this. And good God, I don't know what Kathleen Kennedy, man, she must know where all the bodies are buried. That woman's had so many damn failures with IPs, and that since she still has a job, and the Disney investors are not screaming to have her head on a stake, is amazing. Like, the Acolyte was like the nail in the casket. It's so bad, and it's not. I know everybody likes to scream and say it's all sexist, but it's not that. It's just terrible writing, terrible storytelling, terrible writing. Nothing was thought out. They did the same thing when it started with Force Awakens. They're gonna make a trilogy with those movies, and they came. And so did they write it? Did they have a story arc? No. They just got J.J. Abrams. He made one movie, made it, and went, all right, I'm done. He left. Then another director came in, changed everything, made it different, and then and then J.J. comes back, and it just was a mess. So, anyway, I'm venting because the point is, somebody had an idea, wanted to do something different. When George made Star Wars, sci-fi was not popular. Nobody wanted to do it, but he clawed and scratched and finally got enough people, and then they were like, well, and somebody just took a chance on him and made a low budget movie. Well, it was relatively low budget for the time they made it. It was a bit of a gamble, and he killed himself making it, came back, and everything fell together because he made it, and he had a great editor, and he was doing something that's never been done, doing visual effects that's never been done before. It was all groundbreaking because he wanted to do something different. He did something different, and the movie exploded because nobody saw anything like that. People don't understand. Back in the 70s, when I was a kid growing up, spaceships flying through space, we never saw that. Ever. We saw 2001 and like space, all that stuff. Nothing. And you kids grow up and you watch the new Star Wars like you don't understand. It was the first groundbreaking movie for sci-fi, and he changed the way Hollywood looks at science fiction and science fiction movies in general. He changed everything. Granted, he did get old, and he did kind of get off the rails and did the Phantom Menace. All the prequels are terrible. I think they're garbage. But I know the younger people like those things and whatnot. That's why there's different factions. Like Star Wars, you have the old people that like the old stuff, and you have like the kids that like the Phantom. And everybody can like their own thing. But this new stuff is awful. So. Dude, trust me, Joey, you can have it. You can have Acolyte. It's fine. It's just that numbers don't lie. The ratings are plummeting. They're losing money. They put all that money into it, and nobody's buying it. It's just like, as much as people want to say something good or bad, Disney, when it doesn't make money, it's a failure. And the Star Wars films started plummeting in the last Jedi was the Rise of Skywalker was terrible, and that plummeted, and the Acolyte is just plummeting. Here's the thing. What I think of the new Alien trailer, yeah, I saw it the first time when the movie was called Alien. They're literally cutting trailers from the 1977 trailer. Like, they use the same editing and sound and the music from the original Alien trailer. It's like, they're just, it's like, they're just, and the spaceship looks like the Nostromo from the original Alien. Like, they're just, it's all fan service. I mean, guys, they're just, it's Friday the 13th meets Aliens. A bunch of kids get lost. They find a spaceship. It's got an alien on it. I've seen it. I'm 60. I'm turning 61 in August, and I've seen it all. It's like nothing's new. Oh, dude, Andor is a masterpiece. Again, that thing got Emmy nods, and it was so good that Disney Plus threw it on Hulu so people could see it when it went up for a nomination for an Emmy. Andor is fantastic. The guy that did that and wrote that, they were the same guys that did Rogue One, and it's the continuation of Rogue. It's the prequel to Rogue One, and it's spectacular. Acting, writing, storytelling, characters, and it's beautifully written. It's so well thought out. There's some really good writers in that show. So Andor, I'm totally on board with. Acolyte, all the new Star Wars, the Force Awakens, all that. Just don't care for it. Again, you guys are allowed to like it. I'm just telling you, as an old man myself, it's done. But lots of face figures crawling, because that's what. Yeah, James Cameron said that when he did it in Aliens. So I thought, whatever they did in Aliens, we'll do that times 10. It'll be great. But the Alien. It's so funny when I saw the trailer and heard the music and the sound. Like, I thought that's the original. If you can find the old Alien trailer, that's exactly what they did. They took the sound, the music from it. But Andor is superb. It's fantastic. And again, because the actor strike. Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn. That's right. Get off my lawn, you kids. Hey, look, guys, it's my opinion. It's like, take what you want. Everybody loves everything for different reasons. But the one thing with Disney, it's about money. It doesn't care about opinions. It's money. What's so funny about Disney was Acolyte's bombing so bad that they're trying to blame the fans on it when it's not. It's their responsibility. They're the guys that made the show. They're the ones with the network and the money. And you put something out there, and as soon as somebody gives you a bad review on it, they're like, "Oh, you just don't understand, and you're a misogynist, and you're a sexist pig, and you're a racist." Like, no. You made a bad product, and you can't take criticism. Don't make something bad and expect. It's like it's getting shredded, and they're just so butthurt about it that they're trying to attack the strictness. They're attacking the fan base, and we all know how that goes over. It's terrible. It's just so ridiculous. It's just absurd. That's their new strategy, is to yell at people. And the new, you guys, you got to understand, this social media thing that you and I are talking on right now, and I'm able to talk to you freely internationally on a YouTube channel, is groundbreaking and fascinating, but it didn't exist. Not like the internet didn't exist. It hasn't been around that long, guys. Everything's still brand new, and people are learning and fumbling, and the industry, Hollywood, is even new. Hollywood itself hasn't been around that long, so it's failing and fumbling and learning, so everything's still new when you compare it to the existence of planet Earth and us as human beings. It's not around a long time. Oh, he's supposed to create the Bourne series. Did Andor? No kidding. Good writing. He's a good writer. It isn't me. Are they really flogging the death? It's so funny. I think when we were kids, Star Wars, we wouldn't see a Star Wars movie for like 1 to 2 or 3 years. And then when Disney got it, they beat us over the head with it. And there is such a thing, and people are like, oh, it's a Star Wars fatigue. Like, no, it wasn't Star Wars fatigue. You guys just made a lot of crap. You bombarded everybody with too much. Because when they did Mandalorian, I loved it. What a great concept. It was Jon Favreau. You know what I liked about Mando was it didn't have Luke or Leia or Jedi, just this guy who's a bounty hunter, who's a Mandalorian, and you follow his story. And therefore, it took place in the older, like after the fall of the Empire. Brilliant. Brilliant. And Jon Favreau didn't create new characters or new races. He just took stuff from the pre-existing movies and gritted it. And then people loved it. And they did really well. So what they do? Oh, we got to do this. We got to do Boba Fett. We got to do... And they started just bombarding crap again. Like, just... Can you just slow down? But anyway, but Jon Favreau, great creator idea, and they just couldn't work with Kathleen anymore. He's like, I'm done. I'm done. She was his boss. And she's not creative. She's a producer. So. Deadpool, Nosferatu. Are we looking forward to any movies? Not really, Becky. I'm looking for. I know James Cameron's gearing up for the new Alita Battle Angel. I want to see that. The new Deadpool. I want to. My wife and I want to go see Deadpool. I love Deadpool. Hysterical. Ryan Reynolds hasn't dropped the ball yet on that one, so I want to see that. Have you heard of Dragon Con? Oh yeah, I know. Oh, I know Dragon Con very well. I've only been there once in 2016. I'm working. I'm trying to go back next year, but it's just so damn expensive. Oh, Kathy, yes, Nosferatu. I saw a trailer for that. I definitely want to see that. Nosferatu, Deadpool, the alien thing, Romulus. It's like, take it or leave it. It's like I don't need to see it in the theater. The only thing I really want is a popcorn bucket. If anybody goes to, I'll pay them to buy me a popcorn bucket. I think it's an alien face hugger on a popcorn bucket. I think it's hysterical. Yeah, but Nosferatu does. It looks good, Kathy. Thank you. I definitely want to see that. When I moved into my little town, I was sad because I didn't know if I could costume here. You know, an eBay happened. Yeah, right? Becky, sorry, Going Ape Costume just said right there. When I moved to a little town, like it's the internet changed how we reach the world. It really is because Going Ape Costumes at Cosplay Rockstar, and she's in a little town in the middle of nowhere, and she put her crafting skills to the test, and she started putting herself out there, and she made friends, and now we got friends all over the globe because of your talent, and that's what it opened the world to this. And what happens is that when you open your world to this, you have to be prepared. When you make something and people don't like it, you got to put up with it. So Disney wants to be in a bubble. They like the old days, and they can just write, things in the news and articles and put out smear campaigns. But now with the internet, you do anything and it's bad, you get shut down for it. So, welcome to the digital age, Disney. I might be going this year. Oh yeah, you can't post links here, guys. I'm sorry. It said message reacted. Oh, do you have any recommendations for a first-time cosplayer? Yes, I do. Start small. Start small. I know everybody, when you start, if you want to make these crazy big costumes, like making a cyber arm is actually a perfect thing to start with. Make something small, like an arm is perfect. A shoulder, a helmet. Just start. I have some free patterns on my website. Go to eviltedsmith.com. I have a basic helmet pattern, like a Voltron Paladin helmet or something like that. That video I watch. It's painful. I can't watch it. I would make it so much differently now. But there's just something to be said about that. Yeah, it's just start small. The more you build and the more comfortable you come with the material, the better you get. But it's all practice, man. But start small. Don't go big. Everybody always comes in and goes, I want to build this. And they'll show me a picture from some game, this giant costume. I'm like, not starting off. Start small. That's what I recommend. Just start small. And trust me, when we start, we're all idiots, dude. You're not an idiot. We all have to start from somewhere. I was not this good when I started. Practice the little stuff first. Helmets, bracers, arm pieces, gloves, hands, small things. And when you start working up to the chest pieces and things. And that's why I recommend getting patterns. Buy patterns. There's tons of them on my website. Basic patterns to start with. And then once you build it, you can see and go, oh, if I add here or take away or do this. Once you have it physically in front of you, you can start to see what you need to do. You can watch videos and hear people talk day long, but it doesn't make a difference until you actually physically touch something and do it yourself. And even if you think you're over it, your head, it's cosplay. And no puppies will die. That's true. Don't panic. It's just cosplay. Make things, learn, do again. That's pretty much it. And half the stuff in here, like, oh, my stuff. I got rid of something. There's something I made earlier I'm really happy with, and other things I'm like, eh. But the guy that did the upgrades on Fence is a senpai famous musician. Dude's name is Thundercat? What? One of the first things Ted ever said to me was, don't be afraid to fail. That's it. Don't be afraid. It's because when I first started this YouTube channel, Becky, Going Ape Costume, that was all I got all the time. People like, oh, how am I going to make it right the first time? I'm like, dude, there's no such thing. It's like, in the movie industry, we make stuff. Like, the only reason we got good at certain things, but when we make something for the first time, we have to figure things out, and sometimes have to fail. And we were under a gun and getting, like, this one thing drove me nuts at the prop house is that we would R&D stuff. So you're research and developing while you build the thing for the show. And it was done. Here's a story for you. A movie that bombed, again, it was Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams. And they built this robot suit.
Happy Sunday. Gotta love Ted streams. Less than 3.
Hey guys, really quickly, that's Horsehead Productions. Horsehead, I'm over here on YouTube. That alert is on my Twitch account. Thank you so much for your resubscription to my Twitch channel. Thank you so much for your support. And also, if you guys want to, Horsehead, if you want to pop over here and say hello, we're streaming from YouTube for you guys on Twitch. The chat is open here on YouTube Live on the Evil Ted channel. But yeah, I would just get a lot of that. People like, I want anything to be perfect the first time. And it's changed. Now it's almost like 9 years ago. And I don't get those questions anymore. People kind of pretty much got that now. But yeah, it's that whole thing of just being afraid to start. And the embarrassment and the shame, because man, it's just fail, make. Brent Nichols says, I like what I heard Steve Johnson say always back when working on movies. They took the philosophy of making things twice because they would learn much more on the first build. Yeah, but on Bicentennial Man, they built the costume in Robin Williams. They learned so much in this costume. But it was like the first one they built, and by the time there's a robot girl in the movie, she was like a silly, wacky character, and she would get in, and Robin Williams was like looking at her like, how come she can move so great in her costume? I can barely move in mine. They're like, yeah, because we learned on this build, we learned on your costume, so by the time we built hers, we figured all the bugs out. And that's the thing, they want everything to be perfect, so Robin Williams. Granted, what makes that suit it's such a bad movie on such a great costume, but he's completely enclosed and it's all hard shell. The arms are ball socket joints, the fingers are ball socket joints, his leg, his pivots, waist. He's actually encased in there. You know, it's a remarkable costume and it's beautiful. And of course, they're like, the producer's like, we gotta get Robin Williams. Like, so the movie, he's in the robot, and they get him out of the robot, and it's just Robin Williams. And like, it was so dumb, but terrible at the same time. But yeah, Steve Johnson is correct. That guy, like Steve, like those poor guys, they did such great stuff, and they never had that big breakout film that would get them on the map. They did such beautiful work, but just never got a decent film. What is your favorite piece of armor and accessories you've had created? Oh my god, like the last thing I built? I'm always about the last thing I built. I'm really happy with the Colonial Marine helmet I did for Aliens. I made that. And I'm getting, yeah, I'm really happy how that turned out. But it's just always challenging yourself, moving up the ladder, pretty much. Hey, Horsehead, there you are. People at Anime Idaho asked me where I learned it. Wrote your name on the back of my stickers and said, I owe you money. It just, yeah, I like, but Becky, you do like most people, I like, is that you take, I always tell people, I provide a roadmap. I get people excited about the project, the technique and the road, and so I show them the roadmap, but it's you that have to take the journey. And then sometimes you can take the journey and then start developing your techniques, and then you take it and go, ooh, what about this? And you take it and you go beyond. You start making your own path. You make your own route and start your own journeys. And I think Becky's done just that. She's taken it to enough to where she's likes to challenge herself. So Becky's gets to the point where she likes what she does, but she wants to keep pushing and pushing. And I'm lazy. I'm like, it's good. I'm done. I don't want to. But she keeps going beyond and pushing herself. And so, Becky, I'm very, very proud of you because you've taken what I taught you, but you've gone beyond that. You challenge yourself and try new things and experiment. And that's the big thing about cosplaying is that knowing what works, but also experimenting and seeing if something, hey, I wonder if this would work. I wonder if that would work. So, and you do it and you figure it out. And also you figure out what doesn't work too, which is sometimes kind of crazy. You're like, oh, but you just, you figure it out as you go. I know this is going to be talking about tools we did for a little bit. Now we're just hanging out and catching up and talking with chat. I'm definitely going to have some stuff next week to start building. I might start taking these spacesuit costume things and work on those next week on the video. Because I'm going to start shooting these basic tip video things soon. I want to make cool shit. I know, Becky. Me too. I just got an email from Anime Los Angeles, which I do every year in January. And I'm like, oh crap. And when they emailed me, it's months away, but it's like, it isn't, it's really soon. But I always do giveaways. I'm realizing I don't have a lot of stuff. I need to start making things to give away. So I have these giant horns. So I might have to start cranking some things out to get things done. Because I want to have some giveaways. I have some stuff here. I have these giant horns. I have a helmet, fabricate a helmet, and stick some horns on it, and get it done, and do it. Also, Mega Man's always a big seller, so I might knock out a Mega Man helmet because Mega Man helmets are big. So I make a horn helmet, a Mega Man helmet, and something else. So I have three. I always like doing 3 items. What I'm talking about, guys, is Anime Los Angeles. It's here in California at the Long Beach Convention Center. It's in January, beginning of the year, and I always do giveaways at my booth. I do. I bring out stuff. I'm working on trying to do workshops this year. I'm moving my first time doing hands-on workshops at the Anime LA. The only horns we do here are foam clay. Oh my God. Oh, then Daniel, you need to jump over to my website. I have foam horn patterns. I made a set of 3 big horn patterns. I made them. I don't know how big of the sellers they are, but they're just giant horns. What I probably have to do is make a video of me making them, because I don't think anybody. Yeah. spray foam. Yeah, people do that too. Like you carve them and just. I always feel that use that technique of pattern making and do it with foam. Therefore, you can make the horns huge and light. You know. Speaking of horns, yeah, I'll show you. These guys, see? And these guys are made out of foam, and they're hooked in with magnets, so they come off. They're lightweight, easy, and they look huge and menacing. But oh, see, now I did it. I can't. I can't. Can I get them back in without looking? Oh, there it went. Got it. Yeah, see? Ram horns, crazy. Will you be? I didn't know. Horsehead, I cannot afford that. And I have no place to stay. It's super expensive. It's far away. Yes. Yeah, Kamui does as well too. Kamui has horn patterns as well. Oh, seeing you at Anime LA is what got me into stuff with. Oh, fantastic, Joel. Joey, thank you. That's my mission. If I can go to cons and get maybe 3 or 4 people to get into it, it's great. So I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Those horns are big. That's right. They are. And they weigh nothing. We just watched the horn video yesterday. Oh, which one? The ram horn ones? That's the most. When I made that video, I had to go back and I was like, how did I make these horns again? I forgot. I had to watch my video to remember how to put these things together. Guar would be proud. Ram horns. Yes, ram horn patterns on my website. How do you make them curve like that? Go to my YouTube channel and you can find the ram horn patterns. I have a video on this. You can watch me make them. I have the pattern you can download and you can make them yourself. I can answer that question in the video. That's the magnet company like on those. Yeah, they're just the big earth magnets that hold these guys in place. The reason I did that, because back in the days I would build stuff like this and all of a sudden I couldn't travel with it. And I started realizing I had to start. It's funny, I made this guy break apart so I could travel with it, and I never traveled anywhere with it. I wore this at Monster Palooza last year. No, this year. No, yeah, I did Monster Palooza this year. And then, yeah, it's a popular cause. People love this guy a lot. And I eventually made some new gloves from, oh, they're up here. I'll show you real quick. These are the hands. And this was Kapsuka, people in their cosplay names. It's her pattern, and I wish when I printed them out, she made them a little bit bigger because for her tiny little hands. So when I wanted to link them together, they wouldn't link together because they weren't big enough. So, but anyway, this is the. Yeah, I love these things. These came out great. That's it. Thank you. But these are her claws. This is from a cosplay character. But anyway, I wanted the hands, but I ended up making the hand plates are mine. The gloves are hers, but the fingers are. But the hand plates I just fabricated. Of course, the spikes are foam clay. Oh no, I'm sorry. They're carved out of foam, and then I blend them in the edges with foam clay. Yeah, that's right. I ended up using foam clay to blend around the edges. Oh, dude, earth magnets are great. The thing is, don't use super glue. When you want to glue the magnets in, I use Goop or E6000. I think Goop's a lot easier because it's thicker. You rough up your magnet, push it in, but it takes 24 hours to dry. But once it dries, that magnet's never, ever, ever coming out. If you super glue a magnet, it's stiff. It's too rigid, so it just pops out over time. So ever since I've done Goop, magnets never come out. So use Goop or E6000. So no super glue. Doesn't work. It works on a short-term basis, but if you worry about a costume. Oh no, there's all different types of foam. It's whatever. Look, I only have 2mm and 10mm foam. Is that good or bad? Well, it depends on what you're making. If you're making, if you want to make the arm, you can make it out of 10 mil. It will be a big arm. It's just, and the 2mm is nice for detail work. I only use 2mm for detail work. What I mean by detail, sticking stuff on top of stuff, like for example here, for like the Battle Sister, like this detail on the side here. This is 2mm. The detail here on this helmet. The matter of fact, there's no 2 mil in this one. This is like 3 mil or 4 mil.
Holy moly, 7 years?
7 years? Is that on Twitch? Everybody quickly, that's my friend Becky, Queen of Costume, just resubbed for 7 years in a row on my Twitch account. Becky, bless your heart, sweetie. Here, I'm making a mess now. Let me just put all this stuff back, guys. Here, hold on. Because we're just hanging out, chatting, and showing you guys stuff. Let's put it back real quick. What is the average thickness? I mean, 10 mil. It's just floor mat foam. Like, you can get the rolls. Where you if you don't mind me asking, where do you get your foam from? Do you get it from is it foam you just have around the house, or is it foam you're buying? Yeah, the shoe goo. That's it. Yes. Becky's right. The shoe goo or E6000, they're both the sole shoe adhesive stuff. When you glue it, you strap it, hold it down, and it glues. So. But yeah, it's great for straps and leathers and putting, especially gluing rubber to foam like that. It's great for it. That's perfect. I mean, barge cement's all right, but it's like, especially for soles and shoes and things like that, it's so much better. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Michael's craft stores. I just bought it online. Yes. Joey asked me, do you have any tips on getting your foam rolls flat? When I get them, first thing I do is I roll in the opposite direction. Sounds crazy, but you take your foam roll when you get it immediately. As soon as you unroll it, you take it and you roll it the opposite direction. Hold that for a while, about 10, 15 minutes, and let it go and it'll pop back. But what I do is, in the summertime, this sounds crazy, but I just ordered a bunch of foam from Cosplay Pros, and they show up in a big roll. I like my foam. I love my foam being flat, so I built a rack to store my foam so it stays upright and flat. So I take the foam out, I roll it the opposite direction, hold it for a couple of minutes, and then I throw it in a hot car. I have a car and it's summertime out here in LA. It gets hot, so I take the foam and just throw it in the back seat, and the heat from the car flattens it out. I mean, you can take a heat gun, but if you ever put a car close the windows up in a hot car, it'll flatten that foam out. But I just find it's best to roll it the opposite direction first. So before you throw in the hot car, roll it the opposite direction, hold it for a couple minutes, and then when you let it go, it'll relax a little bit, and then throw it in the hot car, and it'll flatten it out. It'll take that tight curl. It'll take the fight out for you. My friend Beverly, love her to death. She's a great fabricator, and I go and she, oh, here's my way I start. And all her foam, she stores on a rack, like a book rack, but it's all rolled up. I'm like, oh, like, and she does it for space. It's more effective for her for space. She has all different rolls. I'm like, oh man, I can't do that. It drives me nuts. Because you're trying to draw on something and it keeps rolling up. Then you have to roll it back, then you have to heat it. So it's just more time of you trying to get it like flat. So I just, as soon as I get it, I unroll it, put it in the car, get it flat, hang it in my rack. Speaking of that, I need to move my rack. I have a foam rack, and I moved it thinking it'd be more efficient, and I was wrong. I need to move it back the way it was. So. Okay, goes the thing you can do to help my channel. My God, tons. If you see a video that you like, share it with your friends. Tell your friends about me. Also, another thing you can do for my channel, Kevin, is you click on my Amazon link. Once you click on my Amazon link, it will take you to your account. But every time you shop through that link, I get kickback. So there's people that buy through Amazon all the time. So if you buy through Amazon, click on my Amazon link and bookmark it. Bookmark my link so that every time you shop, I get kickback, which helps me extremely. That's what you can do guys to help me. And you can buy a t-shirt like this. You can go to my supply list, on my Amazon supply list, and buy through there. As long as you buy through my link, it helps me a lot. And you can buy merch, tell your friends. That helps me a lot. But thank you so much. Thank you for asking. That's nice. Thank you. But thank you so much. Yeah, Kevin, thank you so much. Evil Ted branded foam racks. Joey's like, oh, wow, that's smart. That's cool. I haven't used that in forever. But yeah, it's but I always tell people it's an affiliate link. It's an affiliate link that you become an affiliate, and then once you start getting people buying stuff through your channel, it helps a lot. So that's a good way to show support. Liking my videos, telling people about it. Follow guys. Also, too, follow me on all social media. Follow me on here on the Evil Ted channel, and go to my Instagram. I have it all listed out here on the YouTube channel. Just on YouTube is listed. Just click on all my social media. Follow me on my social media links. I do TikTok too, but apparently it's going to go bye-bye, I guess. I don't know what's going on with that. But definitely, yeah, I'm trying to make more content, more videos and stuff. I'm working on these space suits, which you'll probably be seeing more, or I should say pilot suits. Do you know Adam Savage? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to schedule a meeting with him. I'm talking to his manager right now, and they want me to come up to his cave, Adam's shop, and I've been trying to coordinate with him right now, which has been. I'm reaching out. He's busy. The guy travels a lot, and I think they're trying to schedule when he's back home again. So I'm going to email them again today to remind them. They said sometime in July, and what is it? It's already July's almost like halfway over, right? Hold on. Yeah, like July's over. Yeah, I have to reach out to him again because I just like my assistant was like, "Hey, when's he gonna talk to you?" I'm like, I haven't heard crap from him, so I have to reach out again. And we've been talking about like what to do together, do something together, or bring the costumes over and talk about those, or yeah. But yeah, guys, it's almost. I do my traditional 2-hour stream in the mornings every Sunday. But that's good. Again, Kevin, I appreciate what I can do to share my channel. Just tell people about it. I guess what is people trying to get into cosplay. The reason we're talking about tools today. I got a little sidetracked because I love chatting with you guys. I got to make a list of things. I sometimes really get at winging things, but today I wasn't really ready for winging it. But I'm going to go through all my basic tools. I like to script things out ahead of time. Think about what I covered because every time I do something, I always forget something. So I want to go through and make notes about basic tools and teaching people how to craft and the benefits of the tools and why. Do you know Melissa from Luma Luster? No, I do not. I know of Luma Luster, but I stopped using it. I ended up finding this particular brand called Spastic Chrome that's way cheaper and works great. So I've been using that for because Luma Luster is pricey. Oh, everyone on Twitch wants to know if you would be, oh my God, New York Comic Con. I would love to come to New York Comic Con, guys. Listen to me. I've been trying to get to New. It's like my friend Allison Tabitha always goes. Like Allison Tabitha, I'm like, I want to go to New York. She goes, oh, here's somebody you can talk to. Like, and I try to reach out to people. And it's like, so if you guys would like to have me come to New York Comic Con, you got to let New York Comic Con know you want me there. Trust me, I've been trying to get to New York Comic Con. It's like trying to go to. It's like as big as San Diego Comic Con. Everybody goes to New York says it's the same thing. It's just huge. It's overcrowded. So I would love to go and have a booth or a corner or have somebody sponsor me. I don't know if there's like. I was trying to get Cosplay Pros to bring me to their booth or something, but I don't think they're there. But or Sheer Bonder or somebody like just bring me out. I would love to go because I love both those guys. I love Cosplay Pros. I love Sheer Bonder. I love DAP. DAP doesn't do conventions though, but they should. They'd be wise. But to go to conventions, New York Comic Con, just let them know you want Evil Ted. Write to them and say, hey, we'd love to have Evil Ted, because I can't reach them. I can't contact anybody. It's like it's kind of like don't call us, we'll call you kind of thing. I used to go after cons. I found out really quickly last year. My friend Peter and I, my assistant, were like, let's be proactive and go to conventions. So we'd write to these cons, and it got to a point where we realized there was really nobody to talk to. We just like there was no some places you'd go to something like, and we'd get like a kickback like don't call us, we'll call you thing. So after a while, I'm realizing it's not anything. I have no choice in that. It's up to them to bring me out. So I would love to go. That's why I love Anime Los Angeles. They bring me every year. It's my local con, and I don't have to fly. So therefore I can load. I have a van. I borrow my friend's van, and we just load up with all my gear. We go out. It's we go on. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a big con. Well, it starts Thursday, but we go out Wednesday. I go on Wednesday. I get out Wednesday. We drive out Wednesday, set everything up, and the con starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's a big one, and I love it, but I'm always exhausted afterwards. But it's a great con. If you guys have not done, anybody in California have not been on Anime Los Angeles, it's you know what it is? It's Anime Expo without the lines and the heat. It's the same thing, and it's just they have so much activity, and then when the sun goes down, they have like nighttime activities. They got karaoke. They got like crazy dance shows and burlesque shows. It's insane. I'm like, I'm in bed by 9, so I don't see half the stuff. I do the con all day, and I'm like, hey Ted, you gonna be at this event? I'm like, nope, I'll be in bed, sleeping, because I have to go and do it all over again tomorrow. Do they have a good cosplay content? Oh my God, yeah, it's crazy. I know it's probably a little bit smaller than what you're compared to, but it's fun. Oh, do you have any cosplay starter packs or something? What I recommend is going to my website. I have some free patterns. Every pattern I have on my store, I have a video for. So if you find a pattern, I have the Paladin helmet. from Voltron. There's a couple more patterns in my shop that I'm just gonna make free. They've been in there for so long and they don't sell that much, so I'm just gonna make I have a bunch of patterns I'm eventually gonna make free and start making room for new ones. But yeah, definitely there's just some free patterns. As for a kit, now just knives, I'm telling you today, a craft knife, some glue, hot glue. If you just get access to hot glue's fine too. It's more homegrown and ribbon collecting fun. Yeah, you know, and deviant stuff at night. You know, Joey's right. That's Joey described Anime Los Angeles a lot better than I did. It is. It's more homegrown. It's a smaller. Everything's what is big. It's like it's kind of a neighborhood con, but here's the thing. It's growing every year. It gets more and more popular. I love this convention because it's kind of like my home con, and it gets bigger and bigger every year. And ribbon collecting is a big thing. And my daughter has been badgering me about making ribbons, and we need to make our own ribbons because people give us ribbons, and we always feel bad because we don't have any ribbons to give back. So I want to make my own ribbons, and I have an idea called make it out of foam. Like people, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, yeah, like I want to make this. Like, yeah, make it out of foam. That's something I always say. So I realized I should just make a ribbon that says "Make it out of foam," and also just have one that says "Evil Ted" on it. Or have Foam Fanatic. Ooh, a Foam Fanatic ribbon would be awesome. But yeah, Joey's right. It's fun. It's just, we look forward to it every year, and it's daddy-daughter time is what we do. So daddy-daughter time, and because we get a hotel room, she stays with me, and she manages the booth. Because I usually have my assistant Peter, when we travel, he manages and he takes care of the flights and manages me and this and that, where I have to be and this and that. But he also stays in my booth when I do workshops. Where when I do Anime Los Angeles, it's just me and my daughter, and so I work and stay at the booth. But this year this is my first time I'm going to be doing hands-on workshops in LA. I do one at Scum and Villainy Cantina, which we do every month, but we took this month off because JC and I both had too much on our plate right now. So he's doing things, I'm doing things, and so we're going to do another workshop probably next month. Deviant stuff at night. It's just so funny. I've heard about it but never seen it because I'm always asleep by then. All right, guys, we got about 7 more minutes. Anybody else have any subject matters? But yeah, thank you so much for asking about New York Comic Con. God, I would love to go. Love to go to New York Comic Con. I would like to go to any local con, guys. But the best thing is people always ask if you'll be there, and the answer is I don't have that power. They do. So you gotta let them know, because here's in defense to the people who run conventions, it's not their jobs to know what's popular and they know the stuff that's like on TV and movies and voice actors and TV shows. That's easy. But for you cosplayers in the creative community, all the makers out there that you follow, the cons don't know about us. Because you guys know, because you watch our videos, the build the costumes you go to the cons in. But the cons don't know about us. So us creative people and makers don't really get that much limelight. So to get us on those conventions, you've got to let them know you want us. And then once they start looking for us and see our numbers, like, oh, okay, these guys are popular. Or he's got, over almost 200,000 followers. And it's like, that's a big deal. But other than that, and it's funny because I haven't reached my 200,000. I'm not quite there on YouTube yet. I'm so close. So close. That's why this year I'm going to get back to doing some simple basic tips. And I got to get back to editing the Colonial Marine helmet. I want to get that helmet up soon. Because I have some friends who are like, hey, I want to get that helmet. I'm going to wear that for Halloween. I'm like, all right. Got to get that done. The biggest thing you've ever made from foam. The biggest thing I've ever made from foam. The Gatling gun. I think the Gatling gun from Star Trek Into Darkness. I made that out of foam. Foam with vacuum form pieces on it. But it was pretty lightweight. Yeah, so far. It's the biggest thing I made from foam. Currently trying to get Salt Lake to sponsor any cosplay guests but they won't. I know, Becky, because they're just, you guys, they have you, Becky, and like it's a funny thing. I always tell people like Kansas City, like Salt Lake too, like Kansas City Comic Con, same thing. They have so many great cosplayers in Kansas City. They just pull from they just give people free tables, and just the kids don't ask for money. They're just happy to be there, so they don't bring anybody else in. They say they don't, but they do. When it's like Kamui or Jessica Negri, they'll bring them in. Hopefully. Hopefully they'll have some guest knowledge this year. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's hard to say. What are some of the basic materials that you should buy for cosplaying? Basic materials, just foam, man. Foam, a craft knife, utility knives. The big ones are rotary tool. I have a Dremel, but I have one with a Fordham on it. Yeah, I'll share it real quick here. It's a Dremel. It's a rotary tool. I have a Fordham on it, which allows me to work lightly. Little Fordham thing. Again, I have all these on my website. What I would recommend is going to my website, going through my supply list, and watching some videos. Start watching some basic videos on how to make a foam helmet. Just start watching videos, and you will gather the knowledge. I think I made some videos like tools to trade. They're really old, but some of this stuff still holds up. But I want to make a new one too, because there's so much new stuff now. Gap filler, which I love gap filler. I just wish Prop Monkey would get a company behind to make it for him, because it's just a guy in his garage making it himself. So he makes it, it's great, but the demand for it, as soon as he makes it, it just sells out like that and it's gone. Because the guy, he's juggling so many other things that. Band-aids. No, I can't. No, the more you work, the better you get with it. Glue, knives, straight edges, Dremel, heat gun. Yeah, those are the basics, guys, starting off. It's just the more you work, the better you get. Knowledge is power, guys. And but yeah, those are the basic tools right there. And Weldon Carey, welcome. Hello. I know I'm wrapping up, guys. Thanks for joining. I've been on. I close at 11 o'clock, guys. But thank you for coming in. Thank you. Yeah, Phil is just back in stock. One of you, yeah, Becky, I know. Everybody went nuts, and of course, my friends on social media posted like, "Hey, they're back in stock." Like, it's gone. I always carry knives with me, and I collect them on YouTube channel. Yeah, just the good old craft knife, cutting edges, cutting mat. Yeah, cutting mat's a big say. It's silly that people don't think about it, but having a cutting mat so you can just cut on a surface and not damage the table, and it doesn't, and it makes the blade last a lot longer. So it's a win-win both ways. Ooh, it's still in stock. You know, it's so funny, Becky. I have mine in a tight jar. I use it very sparingly. I don't use it a lot, so I still have I have 2 jars. I periodically stir them up and check on them, make sure they don't dry out on me. I use the PPEs, the large. That's the biggest. Keep your eyes and digits. Yeah, the cutting mat's it's a lifesaver. Saves the cutting surface. It saves your blade too. Yeah, me too, Becky. I bought 2 bigger bottles and I have them. Held on to them. It's gold. Yeah, it's like those gloves. But just fill in like that gauntlet too. When I made the gauntlets, you really cuts and scratches and I'm like, oh no, so I just gap filled them. Done. I need to do some new builds this summer. You got a horse? Yeah, definitely. What do you? It's like gold. Yeah, but the guy that makes it, Dave, is in Texas, and he does great work. he does so many other things. He's super smart. He's really very ingenious. We went out there and I got to hang out with him one time. We just started chatting and realizing that we were both. The thing that was so funny is that he actually had the same story, how we discovered Doctor Who. He was around the same age I was, and it was on a public access station, and he saw the same episode I did. It was the Hive, or no, Ark in Space, where these big insects were eating people. Like, and I was like, oh my god! And that show just roped me in, and it got so good. I love that show. And Dave and I told almost the same story. Like, he's like, that's when I discovered it. Like, and we bonded. We were like both just geeks, old geeks. Again, that's a big deal against your continued support, guys. That is my alert over there on Twitch. For you people watching me on Twitch, thank you so much. And again, if you guys want to chat with me, I'm over here on YouTube Live. It's a simulcast. We're doing Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But I have my chat open on YouTube only. Because it's already past a little bit after 11 o'clock. I am going to wrap up today. Thank you so much. I was basically talking about basic tools today. And then I just got sidetracked and started hanging out with you guys because I love talking to you guys every week, hanging out and asking questions. So if you guys, if you're new to my channel, thank you again for subscribing and resubbing for Big Tuna Neil and your continued support. And people, if you want to know what you can do to help me, just please shop through my Amazon links, buy some merch, pick up some patterns, tell your friends, and let conventions know that you would like Evil Ted as a guest. And if they say who, be sure to grab some links on my website and on my social media and share it to them so they know who I am. So thank you so much, guys. Yeah, I hope to get back out there again. Oh yeah, invite with we didn't do this month. We skipped this month because both JC and I had a little too much on our plate. So he said, "How about we do it next month?" I said, "Perfect. I like that." And I think we might just do it every other month because because we're both like, yeah, let's do it once a month, and then we're starting to realize the prepping that we have, because between him running the bar and me doing my YouTube channel, we finally realized the prepping we have to do. We have to stop to do prep. That every time we get there, it's literally JC and I in the back at the Scum Valley Cantina dragging tables around and setting up everything last minute. It's just me and him doing it. Well, a couple people at the bar help us, but it's like, yeah, it's pretty manic because it's just us doing it. So he says he's dreaming of the day when he can be able to have somebody else run the bar and he can just do that. So we'll get there. But it's a lot of fun. And I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a Paladin helmet from Voltron. All right, guys, thank you so much. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you again, everybody, for watching and hanging out. And I will see you next Sunday and actually do some building stuff instead of just hanging out and talking like I do so much. Because I have the gift of gab. All right, everybody, thank you so much. And I'll see you back next time. 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on Evil Ted Live.